Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga from director George Miller, is finally out in cinemas, but despite adoring Mad Max Fury Road, to where I consider it perhaps the greatest action movie ever made, I was cautiously optimistic about this one. That's because there have been so many cases where the original filmmaker has revisited their iconic work and filled in blanks that didn't really need to be filled, resulting in that film lacking the spark or the intrigue that made it so great in the first place. To my relief, Furiosa is an imaginative and exceptionally crafted expansion pack to the world introduced in Fury Road, and while it's not as action-packed, this is still a pretty solid prequel. It begins with a young Furiosa, as played by Lila Brown, being snatched from her home in the Green Place and forcibly adopted by Chris Hemsworth's warlord Dementus, until she finds her way to the citadel of Immortan Joe, where she disguises herself as one of his war boys, until years later, when she's now played by Anya Taylor-Joy, she develops the skills and ferocity to escape the post-apocalyptic wasteland, get revenge on Dementus, and make her way home. You're setting yourself up for failure if you go in thinking that Furiosa is going to be as much of a non-stop action ride as Fury Road, because this is much more somber and studious in nature, with Miller focusing heavily on the developing sorrow and anger of its title character, that surprisingly puts it closer to the original Mad Max film from 1979, which was also a slower burn and more character-centric, though Furiosa is much wider in scope, with majestic imagery that emphasises the operatic nature of the main character's journey. Despite the slower pace, Miller keeps it all at a visually spectacular level with its sets, costumes, makeup effects and so on, particularly as we visit places only ever mentioned in Fury Road, such as Gastown and the Bullet Farm. But remarkably, the film doesn't do what certain prequels tend to do and stop dead to explain every intricate detail, with Miller wisely leaving much of the mechanics and politics to the imagination and instead letting the chaos surrounding this desolate dystopian world speak for itself. As for Furiosa, she remains a compelling character whom both Lila Brown and Anya Taylor-Joy excel at playing, with variations of the wordless intensity that Charlize Theron originally brought to the role, though she is often upstaged by many other characters and performances, particularly Chris Hemsworth, who is gloriously chewing scenery with his prosthetic nose, to a point where it's easy to forget that she's even in the same scene as him. At the end of the day, nothing can ever top Fury Road, though the true success of this film is that it knows this, and rather than wasting time trying to replicate it, Furiosa expands upon it to make it even better, for which alone makes it a 4-star blockbuster that's worth witnessing. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe for more reviews every week, and visit the Film Feeder website to read my more detailed thoughts. That's all for now, see you next time.